If you love sourdough bread but would like a simpler, less labor-intensive method of making and baking sourdough bread, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Ron, and thanks for clicking on this video from my YouTube channel. Several months ago, I published a video demonstrating an easy method using water, flour, salt, and a quarter teaspoon of yeast to make delicious artisan bread. This video today uses the same method while substituting sourdough starter for the quarter teaspoon of yeast. Okay then, let's begin. The first of two batches of dough I'll make today is my basic sourdough bread recipe, which consists of 450 grams of flour, 300 grams of water, 100 grams of sourdough starter, 10 grams of salt. This formula is 70% hydration. The second batch of dough has a higher hydration and is the one I recommend using this easy method. Please notice I've reduced the amount of sourdough starter from 100 grams to 40 grams. Since my sourdough starter consists of equal parts by weight of flour and water, essentially I've removed 30 grams of water and 30 grams of flour from my starter, but I've added that same amount back into the flour by going from 450 grams to 480 grams, and the water from 300 grams to 330 grams. Also, I added another 30 grams of water, bringing the total water to 360 grams, which is 76% hydration. I reduced the amount of starter and increased the water for two reasons. I want to slow down the fermentation process, and I want to ensure all the flour is hydrated, since I won't be touching the dough after initial mixing for 20 to 24 hours. The sourdough starter I'm using is unfed starter that has been in my fridge for a few weeks. Before using today, I placed the jar of starter on the kitchen counter for about 30 minutes to bring it to room temperature. You probably realize, but can't see, that there is a digital scale under the Pyrex 4-quart bowl. Sourdough that looks like this immediately after mixing will look like this 20 to 24 hours later. It's the following day and the 2 bowls of sourdough have been sitting on the kitchen counter untouched for 22 hours. I've already pre-shaped 1 batch of sourdough. Here's the second batch. As best as you can, just shape it into a ball. For proofing, which should take between 30 minutes and an hour and a half, or until the dough rises 30 to 40% in volume, some kind of bowl is required. Here I'm using a mixing bowl, which we've had in my family for decades. Parchment paper makes it easy to get the dough in and out of the bowl, as well as into the Dutch oven. I cover the bowl with a shower cap. For the second batch of dough, I'll use a banneton. Not my prettiest demonstration of pre-shaping and shaping, but hopefully you get the idea. The dough has been proofing for 20 minutes, not nearly long enough, but I'm impatient. I'm anxious to see how this sourdough bakes. My Lodge 5-quart cast iron Dutch ovens have preheated at 450 degrees for nearly an hour. With scissors, I'll score 1 horizontal cut across the top center from side to side. For the dough in the banneton, I'll use my bread sling and using a razor blade, 1 cut across the top center, side to side. The bread is just finished baking at 450 degrees for 30 minutes. I'll reduce the temperature to 400 degrees and return just the bread for an additional 12 minutes, or until the internal temperature of the bread reaches over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. It's always a thrill removing the lid from freshly baked sourdough bread, and this time is no exception. The bread has finished baking. Let's see what we got. Oh my, I love, love, love sourdough bread. Maybe with this easy method, I'll make it more often. And for a close-up, it's so beautiful. What about the temperature? Yep, over 200. Perfect. Here are the 2 rounds of freshly baked sourdough bread. I'm ecstatic over the results of this easy method. And for a look at the crumb, beautiful. Thanks again for watching, and make it a great day.